What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks presented by Scores and Odds. If you haven't checked it out already, you're just making bad life choices. Going over to scoresandodds.com where you got picks from me, Meansy, Dino, all the greats. Plus, you get access to our nice little prop shopping tool where you can see exactly what we have projected for each individual prop, plus where the best lines are. And most importantly, you get access to Grant's Action Lounge. What is Grant's Action Lounge? It's my Discord where I'm throwing in all my picks each and every day so you can get them in before the lines end up moving. I have so many picks today. I have like 60, 70 football picks that we're not even going to have time to get to. So go get in the Action Lounge. They're all up here on the screen. If you just want to pause it, go ahead. I don't care. But I'm joined today by one of the best sports bettors I know, a man who is a little bit of a nomad going from state to state and just tearing through them. Zach Price, aka at Zachonomics, over on Twitter. How you doing there, buddy?
All right, Grant. Great to be here. It's the end of the year. A lot of sports going on. College bowl games, NFL, NBA, college basketball. I'm ready to rock and roll. Talk some NBA today. Got some picks lined up for that. I can give you a couple bowl picks as well that I made today if anyone cares. And let's rock and roll. Yep, I'm going to Ohio end of the year. We're going to be one of the first people to bet in Ohio on January 1st and see how long we last there.
Yeah, you might be in bed early on New Year's because you got a lot of gambling to do New Year's Day.
That's for sure. So hopefully the Buckeyes can pick up a win. We push them to the championship game. It'll be real exciting in Ohio.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. Yeah, they're going to be a lot. Is that game on the 1st?
That game is on the 31st, and then the championship game would be the 7th, I believe.
Oh, that's rough. If it was on the 1st, that would be a massive spike.
It's a huge disappointment. That's to say the least. That Ohio's not going to be able to bet that game. It's a huge disappointment. Terrible planning.
Yeah, really, really fudged up there. But we don't got time to talk about that. We got bets. We got basketball, and again, we got football. But I don't have time to get into this because the show would be an hour and a half long. So again, go to scoresandodds.com/Discord. Just threw it into the chat. All my bets in there. I think I'm losing my voice. Does it sound like I'm losing my voice?
You sound great to me, Grant.
Oh, thank you. You know just how to make a girl.
You have a voice for radio, my friend. A face for radio.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. Yeah. First one, we got Zubac over 8.5 rebounds, -100 over at FanDuel, and I have his over on 0.7.5 over at Bet Rivers Barstool, -102. I also like his PRA, but I couldn't get any money down on it. Really simple. He's going up against Embiid. They're gonna need him for 30 minutes. Yes, he could get into foul trouble, but they're probably gonna play him for 30 minutes if they possibly can in this spot here, making these lines too low. He's averaging like 9.9 points per game, 10.7 rebounds per game and he's averaging right around 30 minutes per game. He's been playing a lot less recently, but if we assume he's gonna play a lot more minutes, all three of those bets are easy overs. You in agreement with me there, Zach?
Yeah, I like the overs. It seems like a matchup that's good for some overs on that one.
Yep. Then I got Harris over 5.5 rebounds, -110 over at Bet Rivers and Barstool. Paul George over 21.5 points, -115 at Caesar. Seems a little bit too low. Embiid, bet this a lot, and he hits it a lot. Over 30.5 points. You got some insight in that one?
I like the Embiid over. I mean, we're getting to the time of year where it's time for him to just, keep that average above 30. So anything like around 29.5, 30.5 is okay. I'm just going to go with the over unless it's on a back-to-back.
Yeah, and I see you got some unders on Kawhi. I've been taking some unders on Kawhi recently.
Yeah.
I mean, talk to me about that because, I mean, they've been profitable, real profitable.
Yeah. Let me bring up my list here. Kawhi Leonard, under 6.5 rebounds over at Caesars, -113. I like. And then, Grant, I've been using that Scores and Odds parlay IQ that you taught me about, and I know you talk on your show. It's a great tool. And after I made that rebounds bet, I saw on parlay IQ that the points, rebounds, and assists was 30.5, which I love, over at FanDuel -124. I'm a big fan of Kawhi Leonard unders during this regular season until he really is playing a lot of minutes and really showing us that, he wants to be in the game and he's going to take over. I'm going with his unders. I've made a bunch just like you have on Kawhi Leonard unders this year. So that's the way I'm rolling until he shows us something different.
Yep. No, absolutely fantastic play. I think like he's been hitting the under pretty consistently. Minutes haven't been there. The whatever it's called, the urge to play well has not really been there, which we've all seen from
Right.
Kawhi in the past. Doesn't seem like he really cares. Maybe he'll care in the playoffs, but I mean, the guy just doesn't really want to play basketball. It seems like, but he's so good.
He is so
Got some
good.
bets in the Detroit game. I have Duran over 10.5 rebounds, -125 at Caesars, -135 over at Bet Rivers. He's been crushing this line. I think he has the double-digit rebounds, 11+ rebounds, whatever. And like 6 of the last 7, he's playing 30 minutes a game. There's potentially no Capella in this spot. He's currently questionable last time I checked. So 10.5 is too low. I'm also rolling with the over 6.5 rebounds on Isaiah Stewart. Like they're going to do it up on the boards. And one I'm interested in your thoughts on. I have Trae Young over 2.5 3-pointers made, getting this at plus odds, plus 104 over at FanDuel, and over 27.5 points. I got this at 118 over at Sports Illustrated. You can get it -110 over at MGM. He's been struggling so much shooting all season long, but looking a lot better recently. I think he was 4 days ago the 3rd worst 3-point percentage in the entire league on the season. Shot 40+ from beyond the arc in each of the last 3 games. Seems like he's getting better. Seems like the confidence is getting there. I think he crushed the over versus a bad Detroit defensive team.
Yeah, so with Young, I'm not going to argue with over points. You're so right though. He has been struggling from beyond the arc. When I've seen that 2.5 3-pointer prop, I've been going under. I've been hitting it. I lost it a couple days ago. He ended up
when he had like 7.
Well, I definitely stayed off at that game because the game before I was on the under and he hit 3 exactly. So I said, all right, let me step back on this one. Then I saw he hit 7. So that's a bet I'm not making tonight because I know he's been struggling, but the last 2 games he's hit it. So ride the hot hand on the plus money, Grant, go for it. Points I prefer until I can get a good read on Trae's 3-pointers, but sounds good to me. In the Duran, look, if what's his face? If Capella's not going to play, then that opens up, like 13 rebounds available for the next big man. We could, Stewart 6.5 is way too low for him. I wonder what his double price is. I might take a flyer on that. I imagine
probably like plus 400.
Yeah, which is a great number for Isaiah Stewart. So I might even, extend that, kind of ladder it up from over 6.5 just right to a double.
You love your double bets. Keeping it rolling, I got Jason Tatum under 4.5 assists. He had a massively inflated assist line for a while there, but it's come back down to earth. He's only hit the over on this number 1 time this month. He's averaging 3.1 assists per game this month. Easy under, -113 over at FanDuel. But I got some over on rebounds bets in this game. Tatum over 7.5 rebounds, averaging 8.8 so far this month. We have him projected for like 8.6 in this spot here. Jaylen Brown over 6.5. I got that at -104 over at FanDuel. We currently have him projected for, let's see, loading, 7.8 here. Wow. I know you're a guy that likes to bet Tatum double, which is essentially betting his rebound.
Yeah. When Tatum gets to, look, 7.5 is about the line I want to see for him, and I can go over with, a couple plus EV, a few percentage points, I would say. I don't know his averages on the year. I want to say it's over 8, but, I see him getting close to 9 rebounds a game this year when it's all said and done. So anytime it's 7.5 at around -110, I'll take that over. The Jaylen Brown, I'm surprised with that projection. But I'm not betting it personally, but the Jason Tatum under 4.5 assists also seems like a good one. It seems like he's always around 3 or 4. Look, our superstars, you got to start memorizing their props and knowing when to hit it and knowing when to not. So when Tatum's at 7.5 rebounds, I'm going over. When he's at 4.5 assists, I'm going under and work from there, right? If Tatum ever gets to 6.5 rebounds, I'm hitting the over even harder. If he gets to 5.5 assists, I'm hitting the under even harder. And then, just like with Stewart, when we see a good number on the Jason Tatum double, maybe plus 230, plus 250 or higher, always going to hit that.
Yeah, and people always wonder, like, why are you betting this? Like, because I have to write up so much stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, this is just a bad number. Like, good matchup above his season average. That's all I should have to say.
Yep.
Like, plus, equals you bet it. And I mean, it was interesting writing up stuff for this weekend's football action. I've been writing all morning long, and just I have like 80% of my bets are unders, and they're all from the games with horrible, horrible weather. If you guys haven't already checked it out, check out the weather page over on Roto Grinders. Kevin Roth, we have a full-time weatherman who only looks at sports weather for his job for like 5 years now. So he knows, and he has a whole system in place. He has an algorithm. He has all sorts of stuff, and so like stuff coming in like no way, no one in the right mind on a normal weekend would bet Josh Allen under 220.5 passing yards. But 30-mile-an-hour winds, 50-mile-an-hour gust, freezing, like sometimes it's like this is still just a bad number. It's a bad number because of the conditions. But we'll get back into basketball. Tatum under 3.5 3-pointers made. He's just had 2 good games in the last 3, and that's kind of why this number's inflated. He's hit the under in 7 out of the last 11 games. So averages under 3.5 per game on the season, averages under 10 3-point attempts on the season. This is just kind of too high of a number. Let's see. Kevin Durant over 39.5 points, rebounds, assists, minus 113 over at Caesars. Kevin Durant over 28.5 points, minus 110 over at Betway and over at DK. Betway and DK are both the same lines pretty much for every. Betway just steals lines from DK is pretty much what it is. But both these lines seem a little bit too low. It's going to be a competitive game in Milwaukee. That's basically what I'm looking for with both Durant and with Giannis, which I took Giannis over 32.5 points. It's a 3-point spread. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I kind of like the over in that game. Both these guys' lines are probably going to move a little bit. I like both their overs on points, and I like Durant's points, rebounds, assists. You with me there?
Grant, I've been you know me in the Brooklyn Nets last year. I mean, I was the biggest hater in the world.
Them and you got it right a lot.
So, you have to change your tune when the tune changes. And I'm on the Kevin Durant MVP dark horse right now. Like, we know what he can do. So if his PRA is at 40 and his points are 29, like he could have a streak of games where he's putting up mid 30s and low 40s on points alone. So their record is fantastic this year, and they're not that far behind the Celtics, who are the odds-on favorite. What do you see Durant at? Yeah, I mean, I did a show yesterday.
I really like that one.
I did a show yesterday when he was 16-1, and earlier that, I mean, I feel like earlier in the week I saw 35-1 on Durant MVP. So let's go Durant over, and the Nets are winning, and let's see what they can do the rest of the year. Obviously, if they could somehow catch the Celtics, I mean, I think you're looking at the MVP Kevin Durant right there, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's super interesting. And we'll after we get through basketball, we'll talk about some futures because I know you're constantly deep diving in. Both me and you had Jokic to win the MVP last year, just a boatload of money on it. We got massive odds on Cleveland and Memphis last season. I think we got them at like both 100-1, and didn't work out. But everyone plays. I still had a lot of money on the Celtics to win, and Golden State. So like it's just all about finding value throughout the season. But Nikola Vucevic under 1.5 3-pointers made, minus 120 at DK, minus 122 over at FanDuel. Luka, this is strictly a FanDuel one. This line's probably way different now, but I have the under 9.5 assists. I'm pretty sure that line has moved quite a bit. I'm going to double check here, but one that we're both on, Luka over 29.5 points. I got it minus 110 over at Sports Illustrated. Not sure where you got it at, but yeah, we have Luka projected for under 8 assists there, and the line's already moved to minus 145 on the under. I'd stay away from that now. But talk to me about why you're on Luka, because I mean the matchup is beautiful versus the Rockets, like absolutely beautiful, and I worry about the blowout. But Luka might have 30 plus by the end of the third.
Yeah, Grant, this is a great matchup. I also have the Hardaway over in this one as well. Luka, again, like going back to Embiid where we were with him around 30, like with Luka around 30, it just seems like this season he's going to have more over 30 than he's not. So when I see 29.5, check the matchup, make sure he didn't play the night before, no lingering injuries, hit the over 30. I'll take it probably every game the rest of the year if I can just take his over 30 at minus 110. So again, avoiding those back-to-backs, but he's the man. When you want to talk about MVP, he's going to be right there as well. I think Embiid will be right there as well. These guys are consistently going over 30 points a game. So this is the time of the year. They're in the groove. It's the holiday season. There's featured games on TV. Great time to take the overs on some of the superstars.
Yep. Last few bets, I got Giddey over 14.5 points, minus 108 at FanDuel. Simons over 2.5 rebounds, minus 108 at FanDuel. And Herter over 14.5 points, minus 113 over at FanDuel. I saw a few more bets. Anyone in particular that you want to talk about that you sent me over, or
which game are we on now?
We've kind of just bounced around.
Just bouncing around. Let me see here. I talked about Hardaway, Doncic. A couple that I had an eye on the Laker game. Again, I found these using Parlay IQ with Scores and Odds tool. Is Dennis Schroeder over 11.5 points. Seems like there's a window for him to pick up his scoring here. And on the same line with AD out, Thomas Bryant under 8.5 rebounds. I just think that the bookmakers made it a little too high because AD is out. He could get into foul trouble. He could, not be involved at all. I'm going to go under on that one, minus 113. Sticking with the superstars, I also like the Giannis under rebounds tonight. It's 11.5, pretty fair line. You're getting plus 106 at FanDuel on the under. So, he could still grab that double-double, get 10 or 11 rebounds, and you're still cashing the under. So kind of like that one as well.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some MVP stuff because I haven't made a bet. After Jokic last year, I got limited to the max in almost every single sports book on MVP bets, but there are some interesting ones out here. I like what you said about Durant. I'm right there with you, plus 1,200. This is kind of the point of the season where you can get drastically better odds than you should be getting because everyone's like, it's going to be Giannis or it's going to be Tatum. Like that's what everyone's thinking. Maybe Luka. Jokic is not going to win it 3 years in a row. As much as he might be the best player in the league, does not matter. Voter fatigue is a thing. They won't give it to him 3 years in a row. So he's kind of out. But you got Embiid, who was the odds-on favorite for a large portion near the end of last season, and he's putting up similar numbers. Embiid has been absolutely fantastic this year, as he has been prior season. Some people think he got screwed out of his MVP last season, but still putting up 2 more points per game, putting up similar rebound numbers, more assists per game, more blocks per game, more steals per game. He's doing better statistically than last season where he was the odds-on favorite. 11-1 seems like a bad number here.
I love Embiid. So, last year at this time, Grant, we had Curry was leading for MVP, and Durant was behind him at number 2. Jokic was like 16-1, 18-1. He ended up winning it. Embiid was 40-1 last December. And as you mentioned, he was the odds-on favorite. So one thing I don't want to do in December is take Giannis right now at those numbers. Look, I already have a Tatum ticket at 12-1, which I got a great number. I would not buy more Tatum at this point, even though, he very well could win it. Luka, he's going to have the numbers. Will the Mavericks have enough wins to get him there? I don't know. Jokic, you mentioned, voter fatigue. I mean, for him to get 3 in a row, he would have to win the Western Conference and have numbers equivalent to what he had last year. And then he'd still have to beat out whoever's leading the East, I imagine. I do like Embiid at double digits. I do like Durant at double digits right now. Let's see here. Going down the list, the MVP is a tough thing. There's only a handful of guys who can win it.
We got 3 that are all sitting at 30-1 plus.
Yeah, Durant, and Donovan Mitchell with the Cavs. I love the Cavs this year. They're amazing at home. They're 16-2 at home right now. He's a dark horse for sure. But this award usually goes to the big men. Guys who can grab rebounds, block a couple shots, along with all the points, just like we saw Jokic and Embiid battle it out. Giannis was right there behind them, scaring them. I'm going to stay away from like a Mitchell. I'm going to even stay away from Morant right now, although there's probably some value there.
I think there's value with Morant. I mean, he's been. We saw what he was last year.
Yep.
Absolutely fantastic. He has some room to upgrade, but I mean, he's right now his line is 27, 6.4, and 7.8 per game. Like, it's not like he's not getting boards. The numbers are absolutely there, and there's a chance his team may be in first in the conference.
He's unbelievable. So, if you want to take a long shot, a guard, I mean, there's two right there, Morant and Mitchell. Totally think you can take a flyer on either of them, both of them at a net 1,500, 15-1 odds to get Morant or Mitchell across the finish line. Certainly approve of that. Otherwise, yeah, I'm looking at that 11-1 on Embiid and the 12-1 on Durant, and I'm thinking both those guys are going to get down to single digits.
Yeah. That's pretty much the show. Zach, anything before we get on out of here?
No, man. Everyone have a happy New Year, Merry Christmas. I don't think I'm going to be able to jump on next Friday, but I will see everyone in 2023. I'm going to still keep hitting these NBA props today. We got a long way to go in a full slate of games. Obviously, Christmas is a big day for props. Anyone can hit me up, DM me at Zachonomics on Twitter. I get back to everyone. Happy to give away my props for the night, whatever you guys want. Just don't hesitate to reach out.
All right. Well, Zach, thanks for hopping on, guys. It's been fun. Like I said, if you want my NFL bets, they're right here. I'm scrolling just so they all pop up on the screen. If you really want to take the time, you can go deal with that yourself. I just can't talk for the next hour. My voice is already leaving me. But Merry Christmas. We're out of here.